friends, and welcome to another episode of the IT Business Podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Marv, coming at you live from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And yes, this is me, real, live, in the flesh. Thank you for everyone for commenting on last week's replay of an old Pod Nuts Pro episode with my buddy Matt Rainey. And listen, that was the very first time I had ever done a replay, and I think it went pretty good. I think I did a good job. But I'll tell you why I did it. So last week, I had a little bit of a scratchy throat and wasn't feeling so hot. And last week was anniversary week for me and the wife, and I needed to make sure that I was well so that we could go away for the weekend. And that took priority over the show. So I figured, let me do that. We'll throw up a replay there. I thought it would be very interesting for some of you to see the roots of the show. A lot of listeners and watchers don't even know the show had a different name. And yeah, that's what it was. Pod Nuts Pro. Had everything to do with IT. But that was the beginning. Matt Rainey was a great host with me. And we'll have him back on at some time in the future. So that was last week. Just a little bit of ideas. Some of you asked, oh, you went away for the weekend. Yes, I did. I went to a place just a little north. We didn't go like too far. It's about an hour north. We took a nice little drive up the coast to Singer Island. And we went to the Hilton Singer Island Resort. And basically, it was for her. It was right on the beach. We got a room with a view out to the ocean. So the curtains were open so that when we woke up in the morning, we were greeted by the sun and she could run down and go to the semi-private beach because basically on either side of us were resorts or residences. So there was no real public access to the beach there. So it was nice, clean beach, just north of the Riviera Beach Inlet. So not a lot of waves, nice glassy water, cool breeze. I slept and watched football. That was the weekend, folks. Don't hate the game or don't complain. I don't know. Don't do anything. So for my opening segment tonight, I was all set to talk about the fact that ConnectWise and other vendors in our space are doing away with their free tiers. And for some reason, that seems to have caused an uproar with some people that how dare they get rid of the free tier. But folks, others are doing it as well. Microsoft is getting rid of some of their free stuff. They're actually doing away with some of the not-for-profit stuff at the free level. Some other companies are also doing away with free stuff, and I get why they're doing it. And as a disclaimer, I don't use ConnectWise, but I defend what they're doing. They have been taking a beating over the last year or so with bad actors using their remote access tools for evil, basically what it is. And now, I'm sure that it can still be done on a paid tier, but why make it easy for them? So doing away with the free tier because of those reasons, they wanted to just simply stop making it that easy for people to use their tool for evil. So I applaud that. Now, on the other side of that, you've got MSP 360 that all of a sudden is announcing a free RMM up to 50 units. And we were just about ready to talk about all the companies getting rid of free. MSP 360 decides that we're going to throw out a free RMM there. So what I did, instead of talking about that tonight, I reached out to somebody over at ConnectWise, and I reached out to somebody at MSP 360, and we're going to try to tackle that in a future show. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about all of the options that people have because free is taking a hit. I know that a lot of us in this space always talk about, if you're using a free product, you're really the product. And then a secondary part of that is if you're using a free tool, what is that say to your customers, if you're supporting businesses, but you're using a free tool that doesn't really give them support if it stops working or whatever. If you want to be an MSP, if you're talking about a premier managed service provider business, they always talk about, well, if you want to be able to charge, 3 digits for your services, whether it's $100 or $300 an hour, you're not going to do that using the free tools, although some people are. But then they complain that, I can't make my customers pay this or that, and that's why I'm using the free. My opinion, and it is just an opinion, as a matter of fact, let me pull this up here. Do I have it? Yes, I do. Uncle Marv's IT Business Podcast is here. It says only, blah, 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 blah. My opinion. You do what you want and run your business, you will. But we'll talk about all of that forward. I will give you one story from what I have been doing. I am continuing the Summer of Marv, still haven't attended a conference, still haven't gone anywhere outside for work except to visit clients. And I know that I told you about the Ubiquity installations that I did. Well, one of them turned into a full-blown client, and they are going to pay for monthly services. We inked the deal just last week, right before I got sick, and they're going to be paying for monthly services. We're taking over all of their internal IT stuff. We're adding some cybersecurity. We are replacing their internet and their phones and doing all of that stuff. So at first I was excited. I was happy until I started dealing with their provider that is giving them their internet. They are giving them their phones. They are also making their email, even though it is a 365 account. This provider named Fusion Connect, when I went to go, start to do the offboarding and get all their stuff, well, all their stuff is so badly documented that even the people at Fusion don't know what's in what account or where things are. And it has been a nightmare. And this is the one thing that I have to say that I found out today, that they're using an old SIP product that they acquired from somebody else. And when I talked to the tech to try to find out some information, the tech had the nerve to laugh and say, oh, this isn't even our product. Yeah, that ain't right, folks. So Fusion Connect, I need for them to get their act together, because not only do they not know their product, this client has 2 locations, and they don't know which phone numbers are assigned to which location, because apparently some time ago they actually disconnected the customer by mistake, and when they opened everything back, turned everything back on, they put things in the wrong place. So one location is supposed to have the bulk of the phones, while another location is supposed to be a satellite office. Well, the satellite office has like 30 numbers, and the main location has 5. So when I went to go do the port request, it got rejected because the numbers were associated with the wrong service locations. Oh, and there's no billing telephone number. So if you've ever done an LOA to transfer voice services, you know that you have to submit all the numbers with a billing telephone number. And Fusion is like, yeah, we don't know which one is which. We just assign the numbers and you guys do it there. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a nightmare. But I have the client. We're replacing the internet, throwing in some AT&T fiber. We've already put in the Ubiquity firewall, replaced the access points. We're replacing another switch. We're doing intermediate phones and some other stuff there. But that'll be fun. Updates to come. But right now, let's bring onto the stage some guests that I have here. The one gentleman, you have seen him before on the show, Ron Cervantes of C Solutions IT. And his company stands out as one of Orlando's trusted MSPs, specializing in efficient, secure, and client-centered IT solutions, with recognition as Best of the Best, awarded 2 times that basically affirms their high standing among peers and clients. So let me welcome to the stage not only CEO Ron Cervantes, but his cohort help desk manager, no longer a rookie, Sydney Branch. Folks, how you?
Wow.
Thanks, Marvin.
Thanks, Marvin. Sounds like you've been busy.
Of course. But not as busy as you guys. I'm not named best of the best in Fort Lauderdale.
You just need someone to come up with the content.
Yeah,
Have a voting
I don't
contest.
believe in stuff and ballots or anything like that. But I will say this. So I've seen the list. So the list that they showed up on the one website has 15 solution providers. Do you guys know how they rank those? Or is it just here are the 15?
I don't know. So, well, it's all voted. Everything is voting.
Okay. Because
So
you're number 6 on the list.
Wait, which list are you talking about?
It's the best MSPs in Orlando for 2025.
Oh, I don't know where you got that. That's probably different.
Jumpfactor.net.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
Okay. Oh, here it is.
I'll take 6.
You're listed in alphabetical order. So there. That's
okay.
Okay.
little saving
Makes more
grace there.
sense.
We should have been A solutions.
Yeah. So I know 2 of these other firms, or 2 of the other 15, just so that you know. And I would rank you above those 2.
Oh, well, thanks.
Oh, see, I'm first in my heart, so that's all that matters.
We're going to move on with the show.
Should have seen it coming with you two. I really should have.
Yeah. We ask, not only are you best of the best for the last 2 years, but Ron, you have pretty much had your head really focused on growing the business, doing some stuff. You guys are doing some high tech stuff, I guess, if you want to talk about it in terms of cyber stuff. You're doing some HIPAA stuff too, right?
We do, yeah. We do obviously those that need it. We have a few that we take care of if depending on the compliance needs, for sure. Yeah.
All right. And how much of this has been a help to bring Sydney on board?
Oh, so much. It's kind of worked out where I do a lot of the field work, and so she'll just kind of take the calls and knock out issues as they come along. And the balance has kind of been that way, where I'll do a lot of the site visits, and then a lot of the like the administrative stuff. Getting to the point where I did have like an assistant for a little while. And then Sydney took so much off my plate from the tech side that I ended up just taking some of that stuff back. Actually, I don't totally mind it. So I do a lot of the administrative stuff that eventually be pawned off somewhere, I think. But yeah.
Right. Now, Sydney, is this year 2 or 3 for you?
Wow, I think it's only a little over a year working with him full time. I know I had part time.
I'm counting the whole deal. You showed up to 2 tech cons, so we judge time and space.
Oh, okay. Gosh, I don't know. I think it would be 2.5 then. I only did part time for a little bit.
I think you started in August of your final year, and then your official start date was, I believe it was in July, either June or July. So you would have gone over that full year already. So we're putting 2 years in it at least, for sure.
All right. So I take it you haven't done an official anniversary, employee, assessment.
I have. Yeah. Well, we had a discussion. No, and I say, I know, and okay? I say that because I
precisely, yeah.
I sat her down. No, I feel like there's not a whole lot of performance reviews that happen, anymore. I don't know if people still do them or not. What do you think?
I think the bigger ones do, and I think if you plan on growing, you put those things in place. But there's got to be some sort of annual assessment that look, we need you to pick up here. This is great. You've brought in this much revenue, so we can give you a little bit more money. Maybe you're eligible for health benefits now, But Sydney, you're young. You don't need those right now.
Oh, we got our 401k right away.
Yeah.
Right away? Didn't have to wait the 90 days?
Nope.
Nice.
No, actually, I think she would have, but we just kind of backdated to when she started as an intern, and so we just, as soon as she started, she was eligible for that, since she went full time for that. But I think, I guess my point I was going to make is just like, why wait a year to let someone know how they're doing? And you can let them know progressively as they're going along, and have like, corrections if you need to, or you're doing an amazing job here. And I think we do that all the time. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of when we came through that year part of of just kind of summing up what we've been through already. So yeah, I don't have like a whole performance review, or what's the what they call that 360 review, where I have her review me. Not want to hear what she has to.
Who does that?
Some people do that. They'll have their employees give like the manager a review of like, what can I do better, and what that type of that the 360 degree feedback, if you will. I think it's what it's called.
That's just silly.
I know. There's a lot. It's a lot of extra work.
Yeah.
I feel like I give my opinion of you, Ron, on a very regular basis. So
Sure. Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
feel like you know how I feel about you and where we are.
I was told I was a cool boomer, so there's that.
Yeah, those were my exact words. Yes.
Those were
cool
your exact
boomer.
words. Yeah, you're a
Mhm.
cool boomer.
That's
Yes.
a little insubordinate there, Sydney. That'd be ground for hearing down here.
Well, it's a good thing I work for Ron then.
Yeah, I believe the word in your bio on the website actually references Ron's empathetic nature. So,
Yes. Yes. I'd say we're both very empathetic. I mean, it's one of our core values.
Yeah.
Right, Ron? Yeah.
Yep.
you got them all memorized?
No, I can look them up if you want.
Yeah, no chance.
Okay. Well, Sydney, let me ask you this, because we've actually not had a nice formal sit down chat.
Correct.
Of course, you were rookie for a while, so I didn't acknowledge that. But here you are, you're official, and everything. But let me ask you about your journey, because you're one of the, I don't want to say few, because now a lot of people joining our space are actually going to school. I know that, I don't know if Ron, we didn't talk about you going to school and getting a degree. I come from the generation that we didn't need school to be in IT. But everybody coming up now, starts off with a mission, before they go to school, where they're going to get a degree, they're going to go into the IT field. But I think most of them have the idea of going into corporate or whatever. So, Sydney, how has that journey been for you, that you're going to school, you're looking for IT, but then you find this little managed service space? What'd you think about that?
Great
Well,
question.
yeah, great question, Marv. Well, with where I'm at currently, I mean, it was honestly a blessing, truly, because getting to be just Ron and I mean, I have to put on a lot of different hats and cover a lot of different things I don't think I would do in the corporate world. So I've been able to help with documentation and a lot of internal projects and taking on tickets, answering phones, having to be an expert communicator. Sometimes I have to read Ron's mind and know what I need to do next or how to help him out while he's in the field. And I just feel like because of that, I've learned a lot about a lot and quickly. So I think that's really helped considering I, was majoring in IT and just fresh out of college from that. And it was really the best place for me to land. And I've been very grateful for it.
Now, you talked about reading Ron's mind. Are you the one responsible now for taking stuff out of that mind and putting it into the documentation system where it belongs?
Absolutely. Absolutely. With as much as I can.
She does an amazing job on that stuff. When for things that she can't fill, like I need you to, this, she'll put the whole structure up there and say, I just need you to fill in that stuff. Which the onboarding process, I don't know if I've told you, I started doing that. So there is some stuff there. There's one or two more steps.
Are you telling that to her live?
I'm telling it to her. Yes,
Yeah, I'm finding out for the first time live.
Yeah. So, but she does an amazing job of the processes, and I love the way she thinks through everything and asks all the great questions. When she was doing the stuff for an intern, which it was a very flexible because between classes and school, and then if she had to study for things, and we were just just kind of real flexible with the schedule and all that stuff. But when it came time where I knew she was going to be wrapping up, I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, I really, really, really want her to not go anywhere. I want to keep her, and we talked about it and figured it out, and and then even talking about numbers. We wrote down numbers. We had the exact same number,
We did.
of what we're looking for. So it's just been a great experience working with her, and she's just been an amazing partner for going through all this stuff and picking up those things that she has and the questions that she asks. And I can't imagine having to having someone else do any better job than what she's done in picking up all the stuff that she does, and really all the communication, the details. The details are fantastic that she addresses.
Nice. Now, we talked about the fact that, the documentation, obviously has changed a little bit. How has the stack changed? Because I think a lot of times when we're solo, we get so kind of set in what we're doing. It works for one. But now you bring on another tech, things may have to change. Has anything changed in the last year or so?
No, I don't think so. Our stack has pretty much remained pretty static for what it is. We did bring on.
How
What's
long
that?
have we had Adigy? I'm sorry to interrupt. That was rude. But how long have we had Adigy? I think that's the newest.
Yeah, but again, that was because of the need to manage macOS and iOS devices. So we did bring that on to do that. But in terms of having to, I think we tried Augment for a while and didn't love it and kind of went away. But everything else is pretty much static for all of the stack that we have. I think, yeah, it hasn't changed a whole lot. No.
Are you not happy with Adigy there, Sydney?
Oh, no. Yeah, no, don't. She was just saying because that would be the newest thing that we actually.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But no, it works. It works really well for us.
All right. Very nice. So who takes the vendor calls now? Is that still you, Ron?
I never know if they slip through to Sydney or not. She probably wouldn't tell me. They will typically find me somehow. I get all the vendor calls. I do get a lot on my cell, and I actually kind of like it when that happens, because then I immediately tell them, you just call the personal cell, please call again.
Okay.
And they're like, is there another phone number I can reach? Like, no, it's okay. So, but yeah, they usually slip through to me somehow. And do you ever get any vendor calls? Probably not, huh?
I received
Every
a
once in a while.
few after a conference or two. I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
I was getting quite a few there, and I'd either be like, I'm not the person to talk to, and then usually try to send them your way. I don't know if they ever got to you, but
she went to MSP Geek in the spring, so that was a little bit larger for her. That because we went to TechCon and stuff, but we are both signed up to go to IT Nation, so we'll stop by and see you there.
Isn't there one next week in Orlando?
What's that?
I don't know. Let me check. Well,
it's not Scale.
no,
that's in New Orleans.
It's in New Orleans. That's 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I mean, that would be one I would be interested in the future. We've talked about that before.
Yeah. MSP Summit.
Oh yes, I did see that one. That one's going around the country because I thought I'll go in other cities. I don't know exactly what that is.
It's at Lowe's.
Universal.
So yeah, MSP Summit is next week, and then ASCII Edge is in Dallas. We'll be going to either of them.
We both went to the Tampa one, right? Is that what the one we did? Was that still ASCII Edge?
Yeah, last Ask in, what was it? It was November or last October was the ASCII Tampa.
Really?
Yeah.
No way. That long ago?
Yeah, because the earlier one this year was in Orlando. And you weren't.
No. That doesn't sound right. Does that sound right, Sydney?
The Marco Airport. Well,
no, I'm sorry. We went to that one. Never mind. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. Yes. That's the one we went to.
Okay. That was the last one, yeah.
Yes.
got lost on the way trying to find the venue.
At the airport. How did you get lost?
I don't. Yeah, I managed to get my in situations. I asked a nice security guard. He had a very big gun, but he walked me through the crowd like I was a toddler and was like, "Yeah, it's right there."
I will refrain from saying what just popped in my head.
Please
So,
do. Thank you.
but are you not from Florida? I mean, have you never gone to the airport before? Or?
I live in Orlando. I had never
That's all.
really.
That's all that. That's all that matters to you.
I know it's rough. I should have known, but
And in her defense, she's actually, because you're from the Jacksonville and St. Augustine area. So
yeah, I
she,
grew up
she
there.
came here for school. And in fact, isn't just fairly recently you flew out for the first time from Orlando?
I believe so.
And you
Yeah.
missed that flight, right?
So you don't know? It's
You missed
you.
it.
I did. Yes, I did miss my flight. Okay,
Yeah.
that was totally my fault. It was a timing issue. I didn't get lost on that one. It was just timing.
Yeah.
Daylight savings?
I don't know.
No.
Well, there's some sort of excuse. I just can't think of it right now.
All right. So what's our time here? We've got a couple minutes. So what I will do is ask real quick, do you guys have any stories similar to my melee that I mentioned at the top of the show where I've got a current provider that is just doesn't even understand their own stuff? I mean, I'm telling them how we have to offboard. Believable that there are still providers like this out there. Any similar stories that you guys have dealt with recently?
I had it's really just a silly one of where I had a client, not like a managed one, more of a networking partner and stuff, but they just kind of reached their wits' end where they're like, something's just not right with our internet. And it's always a tough thing when it's kind of working, but not really, and you have to just argue with what's going on with it. And I ultimately went there. They had a lot of old Ubiquiti equipment, but I ended up testing straight from the equipment itself, from the modem itself, and I wasn't getting the speeds that I would expect. And I think I was only getting like 80 when I should have been getting like 600. So then I had to contact the provider. In this case, I think it was Spectrum, and part of it was just trying to get the account number and the PIN to verify the account and all that stuff. And so you had to go through like 5 different people, and they're all, try this password, try this password, try this password, instead of just resetting it. But then they had to just roll a truck out there. And when I arrived there originally, they just had a tech out the previous day who replaced the modem. So he replaced the modem, and then I went back and I'm still not getting the speed out of it. So basically the previous tech never tested the speed before he walked out the door. He just connected it and walked out the door. And so the other tech I got the next day, he goes, yeah, I'm only getting 14 out of here, and he went out, got another modem, put a different one in, and everything worked as expected. So he just basically put in a bad modem. I mean, it was just, people that would just, they don't check, nobody checks their work anymore, man. They just, it's maddening. It's yeah.
No, and I've dealt with Spectrum. That's why I laugh. They are Spectrum and Comcast.
I used to,
ick.
Yeah, when I did work in corporate, for example, if you worked with like AT&T, because they were so departmentalized and compartmentalized, if you will, like between every single role, I joked where I would have a guy come, a tech there to do something, and I'd ask him to do something wasn't quite right. He goes, well, I'm the guy that turns the screws right. You need a guy that turns the screws left. So you're gonna have to call for another service call, and because I can't do that. I'm not allowed to do that. I got to call the guy that turns them left. I only turn them right. You'd always get that type of thing where,
Yep.
I can't do that type of thing. It just gets maddening.
So let me ask you this, because part of the reason the client that I mentioned, part of the reason I got them is because this provider, Fusion Connect, they had been having internet issues for a while. But actually, it turned out it was complete network issue. When I got there, they had a very old, now very nice Cisco switch, but it was old. Mm-hmm. And they originally wanted me to run because they thought it was the wiring. They wanted they weren't going to use the Wi-Fi. I'm like, you don't need all that stuff. You just need a new switch. And they said, well, they just sent us that.
Oh,
so I'm like, they didn't send you a new one. So they must have just pulled something out of the back. And that's what I feel like those Spectrum guys are. They just modems, they just pull out and throw them in the truck.
Yeah.
And just assume, well, we'll pass on to the next client.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So you haven't dealt with any of that yet, have you?
Not entirely. No, I feel like a lot of things happen when you're on site and you find out people are kind of just pulling things out where they shouldn't.
Yeah,
Have
that
not run
happens
into
too.
that yet.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one. There was a story where, again, they were not really a client, another networking partner, but they shared an office space. Like there was two companies that shared an office space. And so it was like one office in a rack, and then below there's the other business split left and right, but they shared a rack. And so one company was up, it was at the bottom. Well, company B, they had their own IT department and were changing providers, and sent one of the old MSP said, well, there's some equipment in your rack that's ours. We need to get it back. So they just walk right to the rack and rip out the other company's equipment, not the one that they were supposed to, and brought the other side down. And then called me in a panic. If you touch one cable, you're the guy ever, and that's basically what it was in that instance. And because I wouldn't drop everything in that instance and run over there for that not so smart mistake, they were quite unhappy, and it kind of soured a relationship there 100%.
Well, how hard was it for the person that ripped the stuff out to put it back?
Not hard, but they didn't know. They claimed they were putting it back and claimed that they did, but that it still wouldn't come up online. And so by that time, the damage was done.
They just plugged cables in the wrong spot. And
yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I didn't bend over backwards for it.
Don't do that ever. But what you can do is pay attention to the commercial I'm about to play for our sponsors here. So we'll take a quick break and be right back after this.
Is your business truly protected from cyber threats? ThreatLocker is the gold standard. Zero trust endpoint protection, trusted by IT professionals everywhere. ThreatLocker blocks everything that is not explicitly trusted, denying all applications and scripts from running unless explicitly allowed. And that includes ransomware. Easy to manage and backed by a 24/7 support team that is licensed with response times around 60 seconds. Stop cyber attacks before they start and sleep easier at night. Click on the ThreatLocker link in the show notes and start your free 30-day trial today. Endpoints and say goodbye to ransomware. Be sure to check out our other amazing sponsors. Check out their links in the show notes or visit www.itbusinesspodcast.com/sponsors. And a special thanks to our incredible listener supporters whose monthly contributions help keep this show running strong. We truly appreciate each and every one of you for being the backbone of the IT Business Podcast.
All right. And what I want to do now is I have made it a point to try to feature some of the recent Amazon purchases, normally by our listeners, but today I'm going to actually show you something that I purchased myself. And it's just a nice little USB hub. And
what's it say on the front there? It got glared out. What's it say right there? There.
300 GAN3W or something, whatever.
Okay,
I don't know.
Okay.
So I was a little nervous because it's not one of the name brands. And that's usually a stuff I said, you know what, let me give this a try. I had one on my desk before, and I would say this has been one of the best purchases when it comes to decluttering the desk. Is being able to plug all the stuff in. I plug in my tablet, my phone, a couple of other devices and stuff like that. So having all of those were huge. So let me bring up real quick the Amazon page here. And here's a bigger picture of it. This one is $285, but the one that I got is $300. So as you can see, The USB-C ports will put out up to 40 watts of power, and then the USB regular, just the 2.4 and stuff. And that's how it would look on the desk. And I actually did get the stand for it. That was another reason that I got it, was because the one that I had before just laid flat on the desk. And when I picked it up to clean my desk, it was icky at the bottom. So that was the whole reason that I ended up getting this. All of the stuff. But there's the Amazon page for that. And again, the wattage there. This one seems to be pretty good. The old ones, they always got a little hot, seemed to overheat. This one does not. It has been cool when I've touched it, even when I loaded it up and everything. So that is what I purchased, a USB-C fast charger, and I am going to put a link in the chat here as well as the show notes so that you can go and check that out for yourself.
Nice.
You guys use those over at C Solutions?
No. I think I have like a whole desktop PC that I hate. Like I have a Dell Precision on the floor, and I plug everything I need to in there, and it holds everything.
Did you buy an extra PCI card to throw in there to get extra USB ports?
No, I don't have a whole lot plugged into it really.
Really?
No, not really.
I've got like 10 things plugged into mine. I actually just upgraded mine.
Really?
Did my Windows 11 upgrade.
I've got like my wireless keyboard and mouse is just one receiver. I got a webcam, and then a headset that I actually just plug in when I need it. I have a slot. I have a YubiKey plugged into it. That's it. That's all I got. That's it.
No printer.
No, that's Wi-Fi.
No other USB mic.
No.
No hard drive toaster.
Yes, I do have that.
Okay.
Yeah, and not toaster. I mean, I do have a where I'll have like a backup on it. If I would pull those out and just have to plug them in and plug them off if I don't have it all set up all over the place and stuff.
Oh, I have two. I have a toaster. I leave it plugged in, and then I actually got an NVMe hard top as well, so I keep that out there as well. So those are both plugged in.
Do you do that much cloning?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So the toaster, though, I use it mostly now just to run the Crystal Disk Info on them.
Mm-hmm.
And I will use it to do the active disk wipe.
Mm-hmm.
So I get the certificate. Most of the cloning now that I do is the NVMe. So I've got the one on my desk that's just clone one.
Yeah.
And then I've got the big boy where it'll clone 7 SSDs on my rack.
I use the active disk kill for a while, but then when it would encounter, and this time it was like spinning hard drives, any blocks, it would just stop on those. It wouldn't continue, and then a certificate after it, like it would fail. So kind of stopped using it for that because I'd inevitably just sit there and wait for it to do its thing, and I ended up getting one of those hard drive crushers. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I have one of those.
Yeah. So, but lately, like I had a client request a certificate of destruction, and so I just generated one off of Copilot and put in the serial number, manufacturer, how it was destroyed, and all that stuff, and it just kicked it out a PDF form for me.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think I've only had 1 or 2 fail with the active kill disk.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'll do is I'll just keep that certificate, the failed certificate, crush the drive, and then create a separate, like you did, a separate certificate so that I can show them, look, it's, we tried to do it the regular way. We crushed it. Now here you go. Mm-hmm. But I have found, so I still have my SysStore 4-bay copier for the old 2.5 and 3.5. Mm-hmm. So if the active kill disk won't wipe it, I'll throw it into that. And sometimes that'll wipe it. It won't give a certificate. So I still got to do a manual.
Mm-hmm. And how long does it wipe it though?
Huh?
Like how long does it take you to wipe something in an active kill disk?
They usually 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, I can crush it in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I know, but if to get a certificate, you're not going to do that.
No, correct. Yeah,
but I'll let it run. But I run them overnight, so I'll just throw 4 in and leave for the night. So in the morning it's done.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Sydney looked bored.
No, not at all. I'm trying to keep my cat from being participant number 4.
I saw like a furry monster.
Yeah. She wants to be part of the show.
All right. So what else is happening over there at the Solution? I mean, I hear you're rolling in the dough.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. Oh, all the money we're making, yeah, it's crazy. Let's see. Oh yeah, we were talking about we bought into there was a little program that was done by the local chamber that was offering tickets to the women's pro team, the Orlando Pride here. And so you buy like a pack of tickets. So I bought like 25, and then it was matched by another third party business in the community. So I have 50 tickets, and so we just did a fun little program of sending out an invite to people who want tickets. Let us know. We can transfer these tickets to you as you want them, and just send them out just as free tickets, just as a you. And
now, are you doing that for clients, or are you using it as marketing for prospects?
Just for clients.
Okay.
Just for clients. Yeah. I still have some left to give, and the 10th. So it's actually next Friday, I guess, right? Is that the 19th? Yeah. So it's next Friday is the game that we actually have. So I gotta get rid of that somehow. So I might open it up a little bit to like networking partners. I would say I don't have a whole lot of prospects. I do have a call tomorrow with one, but yeah, it's really I don't chase down a whole lot of work, and I think you can kind of relate to that. It does come to me, here and there, and some opportunities pop up. I'd like to find a way to drum up more, but scale count would have been good for that, I suppose.
Well, I was going to say, I know a guy who's not far from you in Lakeland that could help with that.
He won't help me.
He won't help you?
No.
Have you asked?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well, I'm in the area. Like he has it locked up. Like that's because he's in this area, and I think there's someone that he works with. So okay. I'm out of his area.
Yeah. Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
I get it. I don't like it, but I get it.
No, I get it. I get it too. And he still has plenty to offer for sure. It's not like and that wasn't like a burner like that, but it was just.
Here's a question: can you still be a part of this program even though you don't be part of like the campaigns and stuff? I mean, I should have asked him that. I had him on the other day.
I don't know the answer to that actually. I don't know.
Yeah. Taher, if you're listening, answer my question. It doesn't make. I mean, I do.
I'm talking smack for him not helping me. No. Maybe it's changed. I don't know. I mean, last night. I mean, we spoke. Great guy. We spent time talking.
Yeah.
At the last TechCon when everybody's flight got canceled, and we were all stuck. But I remember talking there. So yeah. Yeah. I'm just unfortunate to be in the same area that he is.
So, I mean, you mentioned networking. So I assume that's your primary source of marketing and leads and stuff. Or do you do anything else that's targeted?
No, I'd say nothing that's really targeted. I'm still a big proponent and user. So for the blogs, newsletters, but those go. So if I go to a networking event, I'll input people's contact information in there, and they become a part of my newsletter, whether they like it or not. But they can always unsubscribe. But I do a lot of networking for throughout the week consistently. A lot of it is chamber related, some professional groups. I am not in any BNI at the moment. I haven't been for a few years, and a lot of it's just getting out there and meeting people over and over and over and over again. And actually, it's become kind of social. Actually, social experience of just going out and even at night of networking where it doesn't quite feel like work and networking, and you just kind of become friends with people and they just kind of trust you. Sydney has become active in another element of the chamber that's new, which is called the Young Professionals. So she's been going to, is it monthly get-togethers?
Yes,
I think
it's about once
those
a
are the
month.
hip kids.
Yes.
Yeah. The young
So
professionals.
Hipsters.
yeah. Oh, one thing I could share too is that I'm there's something and you might know that they do things like this by you and maybe other places as well. But it's in this area. It's called Leadership West Orange, and it is a monthly, like a kind of class thing where you will go visit businesses in the area, and they will take you kind of like behind the scenes, and you learn about, and it could be municipalities, government, big businesses. So on the 28th, I think we're going to NASA. We'll be visiting Tallahassee at some point. We'll go to the background of Disney, and a lot of other businesses in the area throughout the year, all the way up until June. So there's like one visit a month, and so it's an annual class. It's they call it a class. It's if you can, and we've got like close to 40 people in this cohort, and so we get together, and so it'll be a good networking opportunity from that standpoint, and just getting a little active in the community.
Yep, that exists down here. It's called Leadership Broward.
That's it. Yeah, same stuff. Yep, I thought so. Because I remember I talked to someone who was in the they're in like the Palm Beach area, I think. That you're Fort Lauderdale, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and they were in the Palm Beach, and they were talking about something. It was leadership something. So I think they do a lot of different areas. Do you know where they go for that?
So I haven't talked to them a long time. I actually ran into them back when I first got to Fort Lauderdale, and I was doing the marketing for Junior Achievement, and they did a lot of stuff. But the program has changed because they now do. I know they added a youth leadership program down here, and then they have a women leading Broward or something like that. So they've actually branched off and done a whole bunch of stuff. But I do know this. I know that the application process down here is pretty tight. Like you just don't get in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The gentleman I talked about, I thought he was around the Palm Beach area or whatever, but he was saying that they did, like for one outing they did, that they had to go into, it was like a fire rescue type of a thing, and so they actually got them geared up, and they had to go into a simulation and pull out a dummy in smoke, and they did one of those activities and stuff. Yeah, I think they like the money. They'll take the money if you have it, and so the application isn't that much of a thing. If you sign up for it, but
maybe
people rave about
maybe I didn't have the money.
But people rave about the experience of it, so I'm excited to do it. Yeah, my involvement in the chamber is helpful. I like, so my wife works for the chamber itself, and you would think that would get me like extra business, but it doesn't. She probably goes out of her way not to refer business to me to seem impartial.
Yeah, she doesn't want that stain on her
record. That's right. So, but I do get introduced to a lot of. They'll recognize my name because they talk to her first when they're new. It's like, oh, I know who that is. But we actually, so which is nice because we actually end up networking in the same circles together. So it's kind of a bonus that you go out and network with your spouse and go hang out and stuff.
All right. Well, Sydney, I want to give you a little bit more time here before we end off. So let's ask you a specific question in terms of, what do you think has been, I don't know, the most exciting thing that you've either learned or done now that you were full-time working with Ron?
Gosh. To me, every day is full of it. I know my blood pressure goes through the roof, my heart rate goes up when like 5 tickets come in at once. But no, I think really the biggest value I have is kind of when Ron hands me like a mini project and he's like, go look into that, go figure it out, and kind of leaves me to my own devices to tinker around with that. I know I've done quite a few things with Intune and policies there and rolling them out for all of our tenants that are licensed for it. So to me, when I'm somehow have a few hours to spare and can kind of just put my head in the sand and focus on that, or really give that my all, that's when I learn the most and can kind of make leaps and bounds and do things that make me excited.
Yeah.
And feel like I'm helping and I'm being a productive member of the workforce.
So what would be like a typical day of tickets? Do Do you have, those recurring tickets that you're just tired of, or it's a typical day like?
Every day is different. I never know what I'm going to get, whether it's printers or scanners or just questions because someone's frustrated with something, or dealing with iPads or Macs. I mean, I just never know what the day is going to entail. I have found I have been able to kind of take on more tickets than I used to, which is to be expected. But I'm able to take on more and kind of close them out faster because I'm able to identify if the issues happened before, what the culprit could be, and that's. I mean, I wish I could say every day is the same, but it's really not, and that's where I learn the most. So.
All right. Has there been one project that stands out as in one you are most proud of that you were able to do without calling in Ron?
Ooh, that is a good question. Um, it would have to be enrolling devices in Intune for tenants that were originally on standard that were upgraded to premium licensing after the fact. So they were already registered or joined to Entra ID, but not enrolled in Intune. And so I didn't want to go through and manually unenroll and re-enroll or anything like that. So I found a way to hop backstage and run some commands and get them to check in properly now that they're licensed for it.
Okay. A couple of PowerShell scripts.
Yeah.
She's exposed herself to, and that's exactly the same. That's the exact same answer I would give as well. Mm-hmm.
All right. Did you blow anything up yet?
Oh boy. I try to quickly forget those and move on. Big note in all caps, don't do this again. But I don't think there's been any massive life-changing mistakes I've made for anyone. Knock on wood.
Yeah,
All
I don't
right.
think so. I think that if there have been times where she's called me in a panic, and said, "I think I might have messed something up," and it's never been anything major, and we will always work through and stuff. But what we do can be hectic and stressful and all that stuff, and I'll always look, this is fixable. We can fix it. I think of like one instance. Remember when a profile was deleted on accident of some sort, right? And I'm like, we can then fixable and stuff. So, but yeah, it's always fixable. We can always figure out a way to do it. But her troubleshooting skills have just, it's fun to watch them progress, where I can see her going through the steps of what can I try here, what can I try here, and then learning from those experiences and then always taking them to the next problem. It's nice to watch.
All right. You don't have a full-time office, do you?
No, I do. Well, I'm standing in it. Not like you. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sydney, what's your command center like? How many screens you got up there?
I have my laptop and then 2 external monitors. That's it. So 3 screens.
Okay. What size?
24. I have no idea.
It's written in the corner, in the left corner. If you look, I
let me
either
just
27 or 24.
It's the model number.
Yeah.
Gotta brag about those things. Yeah. 24s.
That was when I was hoping to bring her on, and I said, all these, I'm like there's certain things that I can't offer, when the small organization, like full benefits but I told her, I said, well, you can work in your pajamas, it's like it's like sold. So it's funny when there are times where we do have to, like, if we're going to go somewhere, or sometimes we'll visit a client together or something. She's like, oh, you're going to make me shower.
I have to get dressed normally. Go show my face to the world. It's horrible.
You gotta put on that one uniform shirt you got.
Right.
Yep. I wear all the time.
And multicolors. There's multiple colors.
Multicolor out.
We have gray, blue, and black, right?
We have blue, light blue, gray, black. Yeah.
Yes.
We have different blues.
And
shades of blue.
And t-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, not so bad, eh, Sydney?
I did it. I made it out alive. I'm
Yeah.
I'm no longer a rookie, so I've got that going for me.
That's true. That is true. I hear there might be a rumor of a joined TechCon single event next year. You guys going to go?
I didn't hear anything about that. What's that rumor?
And it's a rumor. I
You
just
wanna
made it up.
elaborate
Here.
on the rumor? You're just making it up?
I'm just making it up right now.
A joined, what'd you call it?
A recombined TechCon, a single event instead
Oh,
of
okay. Oh, I see. I got you. Yes. Okay. I see. Instead of the city by city.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. I've not heard that. Any
Nobody
rumors
has.
to the city?
I'm just saying, if they do,
If they do,
you know,
okay.
if
I
they
got you.
bring it back into a single event, will you guys be there?
Oh, I would expect to be, yeah.
I'd like to think so.
All right. Cindy, you can't win anything.
The odds
Win
are
that
stacked
money.
against me. It was a foldable keyboard, wireless, I believe.
You don't have any more?
Um,
It was that cheap?
maybe this is a sick brag, but my boyfriend made me a custom keyboard, so it's all cute and customized. Yeah.
Oh,
Now you got to hold it up.
yes. Let us see.
Oh, great! Let everyone see the keyboard.
He
It also
made
lights
you a
up.
custom keyboard.
I
Oh,
don't know
hang
if
on.
anyone's
Back it
gonna
up.
be able to see.
Hang on. Let me. Oh, you need a better camera.
Well, I've blurred
It's-
my background.
Yeah, it's
so-
blurring your thing. Oh, it's
Oh,
actually
that's a little
right
better.
there. Yeah.
So,
I see.
It lights
okay.
up.
Yeah. Nice.
I
And then he
mean,
got you some little skins to put over keys there.
Yeah, I've got cute little keycaps and extras if I want to switch them out.
All
So
right.
there's my sick brag of the night.
Yeah.
Custom keyboard, everyone.
One of my she doesn't think it's very funny, but I think it's funny. We talked about traveling at some point, whatever, and she talked about something. Was it a cathedral in Germany? Is that correct?
It's a castle in Germany. I knew you were gonna share this story.
I know. So it's a castle in Germany, and she's like, I always wanted to visit it, and she goes, it was in a video game that I played, and I thought it was pretty, and I wanted to go visit it. And I said, well, what video game was it? She goes, Call of Duty.
It wasn't that it was pretty. It's just they based a zombie map off of the castle, and it was a real thing. And I wanted to go.
Oh,
I wanted to
okay.
go to Germany. Might as well have a reason. I
Yeah.
think.
Minus the zombies, but yeah.
Yeah,
Which
we
is
ignore
funny,
the
so-
video game zombie part, but
Yeah. So here's, sweet Sydney just
Call of Duty.
obliterating zombies in Call of Duty. Yes.
Don't think I ever mentioned you, pictured you as a first person shooter.
Oh yeah.
I'm full of surprises.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wait till I tell you about my music taste.
Does it include Celtic Woman?
What's
No.
that?
No.
Definitely not. No.
Okay. We'll talk about that after the show.
I agree.
Well, guys, thank you very much for coming on. Let us real quick finish out with a Florida man story. And our Florida
great.
man story this year actually is a multi-state story because the Georgia Bureau of Investigation recently arrested a Florida man involved in a multi-state cyber fraud operation that targeted elderly victims using timeshare scams, resulting in over $1 million in losses. So the tactics were that he would impersonate legitimate brokers, contact unsolicited offers, demand upfront fees, using high-pressure tactics and promising high profit or guaranteed sales that never materialized. And so I mention this because it actually falls under fraud law inside of Georgia, and this person may be prosecuted with felonies and punishments that may include 1 to 20 years in prison. And the guy, Henry Williams, he is age 63, of a place called Trinity, Florida. Now, I do not even know where Trinity, Florida is, but he was just arrested a little while ago, August 29th. The details are just coming out now. And $1 million at age 63, scamming people. And the charges are theft by deception, exploitation of an elderly person, and business email compromise. So at age 63, whoops, there's a boomer actually using technology.
You know, I know you said that you weren't going to share, but I actually did think of a Florida man story.
Yeah.
In a sense that, so did you ever hear about the guy? It was a Seminole counter named Joel Greenberg.
Oh yeah, he's on. They did a American Greed.
They did American Greed with him, yes. And so there is some connection between him and that Congressman Matt Gaetz. Did you know that?
Oh.
What's that?
I said that guy.
Yeah, that guy. And so there's a guy that I knew personally. He was always a little quirky. He did mortgages here, and he actually did my mortgage when I first moved here back in like 2002 or something like that, you know. And he had like weird hair, like it always looked like fake or whatever, you know. And I don't know, he just had a weird look to him. So, anyways, I was wondering what happened to him, and I looked him up, and he was in cahoots with this with Greenberg with a lot of the scams that he did with the SBA loan fraud. Hired a bunch of people to, you know, create fake companies and all that stuff. And he was also arrested for transportation of minors for prostitution over state lines.
No,
so
he's going to say for Epstein.
Well, no, but they were all like, they all knew each other, you know, between Gates, Greenberg, and then this other guy that I actually knew personally, not a friend, but it was just an interesting thing that, like, I know that guy, and he's in jail.
I just remembered that I never announced the winners of the E5 Python challenge that happened. So many of you are like, what are you talking about? Yes, we have, not only do we have gators, we have a Python challenge. It happened back in July, but the results take to be announced. There were 934 participants this year from 30 states and Canada. And the winner this year, let me first say,
is the contest how many or the biggest?
Well, let me tell you.
Okay.
So again, 934 hunters. There were a record number of pythons removed this year. 294 pythons were removed. A person by the name of Taylor Stanbury won the top prize by removing 60 pythons, nearly tripling the previous record. So it goes by the number that you get. The top prize is $10,000, and they have prize categories for longest python, most pythons removed, and separate recognition for military and professional competitors. So there were people that, you know, do this as a job as part of the Wildlife Commission. And then, of course, the yahoos that think, I'm going to get me a python and just join for the fun of it. So that is how it was. I think the longest one was 18 feet that got removed.
My goodness.
And 294 sounds, 294 sounds like a lot. The state has been trying to count the number of pythons in the Everglades. They are estimating that there is 16,000 pythons in our Everglades, and that they will at some point start to eat out the others including gators. Pythons eat gators.
Smaller ones usually, right? Guessing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there we go. All right, folks, that's it. Thank you very much.
You
Sydney,
got to mention that when you were at the Florida games, that Sydney was there at the same time.
I was.
I didn't want to embarrass her like that.
She loves it.
All I'm saying is, all I want her to say is, how did you not see me?
She did.
I did, but you were taking a video of someone on the American Ninja Warrior obstacle course,
okay.
and I didn't want to disrupt your video, nor did I want to stand around and be creepy waiting for you. So,
Oh, nice. This year closer to you guys.
is it?
God, where is it? It's over like north of Lakeland. It's over on that side.
Oh, interesting. The other side. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
It
have to look into
is.
that.
Huh?
I'll have to look into that, figure out when it is.
So the actual games are February 21st, 2026. They are going to, of course, have primary games, the evading arrest obstacle course, the Hurricane Park Grocery Island Rumble, the Florida Sumo Cage match. And this year, did they not? Here we go. Location. It is at the Freedom Factory, which is off of Florida State Road 64 in Bradenton.
Oh, okay. So completely other side.
Yeah.
Good to know.
We'll see you there. All right.
Can't wait.
Right before we did that, Sydney, I was going to ask do you want to have the laugh for today's show?
Oh boy, what an honor. I really just want to thank you for having us and letting the Nutty come on and have some time here since I wasn't able to just time. And it was, I had a good time here always with you guys. I mean, I learned so much from surrounding myself by people who really just had a great time. So thank you.
All right. Ron, you must be so proud.
I am. She's great.
Folks, thank you very much for tuning in. If you watched the video, if you're listening, thank you very much for downloading and subscribing to the show. If you're just tuning in for the first time, be sure to save this in your favorite podcatcher. Head over to itbusinesspodcast.com. Support the show, support the sponsors. That'll do it. We'll see you soon. And until next time, holla.